channel. You have no idea how many times I have done this video having to redo it again and again and again and again because of the fact that one, I had multiple interruptions. I'm like trying to fix my shorts because like I keep curling up because I'm like trying to get comfortable. But I had had multiple interruptions. I had to eat something because I was getting a headache. I had to get water. I had to build a bookcase. I had to go tend to TC. It was just back to back to back. So I was like, I was joking around and I mentioned that I'm gonna end up having to get a sign saying that, hey, do not bother. I'm like on live or I'm recording. And at first I was joking about that, but I'm gonna end up getting a sign and putting it out in the hallway because God, I had so many times where I've been interrupted, like, wow. But hi, welcome back. My name is Lena, aka Blondie, and you're watching Simply Blondie, where I talk about pretty much everything and anything that is on my mind, from the very important stuff to the BS and everything in between. Yeah. So, I'm gonna get straight to the point real quick. I know I have not been on Twitch yet. I know this. I'm fully aware. I know I kept saying that, oh, I'm going to start going on this day. I'm going to start going on that day. I'm going to start doing it on this day. And if you were to go on my Twitch account right now, it has a timer, a clock of when I'm supposed to be going on, and I don't go on. I have a schedule up ready to go, and nada. I have been getting into my head quite a bit, and it's kind of messed up on my end that I'm doing this to myself. I had to actually like tell myself to get off TikTok because of the fact that I have a lot of mutuals that I do follow and they follow me, that I have collabed with them multiple times, that are doing stuff and then like it's not either not part of their normal like setup, and they're trying to like dip their hands in other things. And like when I have an opinion, like I say it out loud, but then I don't come on here and be like, I have an opinion. I don't do it. Like I just kind of like psych myself out thinking like, so I have to get out of that headspace. I have to really like tell myself, dude, stop. Just do it. Just go on, have fun, play video games, talk crap with your friends or talk crap with the chat, and just go have fun. Okay? That's the most important thing. I also been really busy with work. I have stories upon stories to share with you. And I've already mentioned this, that I am slowly transitioning out of it because I'm kind of tired of it already. That I do not want to don't like do it ever again. I just kind of want to be a full, not even kind of, I want to be a full-time content creator versus dealing with what I do now, which I have shared this, I do DoorDash and it sucks. It is a job that I personally am not a big fan. I don't like working for them. I'd rather work with them than for them because I've had experiences where it's not them, it's the clients that have this mentality of I'm always right because I'm the customer. No, you're not. And I'll get into that in a later video, not now. But this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. This is a movie that I had mentioned multiple times in maybe like two of my panels where we had talked about video game movies that we want to see. And I had mentioned Borderlands, and I'm a big fan of Borderlands. I had played the prequel, the first game, and the second game. The third one I have not bothered touching because I haven't got back into playing games until recent. And let me tell you, when they announced it in 20, I think it was like 2019, 2018, I was super excited. When they dropped the first promo, like posters of the crew, like their silhouettes and who was playing who and which character was going to be there, I kind of sat there and was like, oh, it's one of those kind of feels now. It's actually still one of those. So when they started dropping, this was in 2021. And I was excited, but when I saw the casting, I was just like, okay, that's one of those things. What I mean by one of those is that another, which is like all studios, they don't listen to the fan base, they don't listen to the communities, especially the gaming community, where the gaming community hasn't really got a good, solid gaming film in a while, other than like a lot of the indie games such as Five Nights at Freddy's, which was very successful, more successful than most people would assume it would be. Sonic the Hedgehog, and now we have already the third one in production, Ben Schwartz had posted up photos of him recording his lines for for Sonic himself, and their promotional teaser poster with Robotnik, aka Jim Carrey, laughing and his kind of like him returning and all that, to the Mario movie, where now Nintendo has their own studios where they're going to be doing Mario Brothers 2. When they made, like I said, they made that announcement for Borderlands, it vanished without a trace. Now, the reason why it fell out of trace or just out of the loop for a while was because of the COVID umbrella. I call it the COVID umbrella. I'll get more into that in a second. Um, it just, a lot of it was shelved. So the COVID umbrella is something that I don't know. I didn't come up with. I just thought of it. Maybe someone else probably came up with it. And I just like, oh yeah. But the reason why it's called the COVID umbrella is that a lot of shows that were in production, that were already out, that were on the floor to be ready to film or was filming, were basically all production stopped. Okay, a lot of shows and movies were affected, especially a lot of TV shows were affected, and especially in the animation department. A lot of my favorite shows were canceled well into their prime when things were getting really good. Most of it was like the Rise of the Ninja Turtles that came out in 2018. DuckTales of 2017, which came out in 2017, was also amongst the few that got canceled. And people were saying, "Oh, it's ratings. This is ratings." It was the COVID umbrella. It was like the COVID, the pandemic that caused it to basically get canceled because there's a lot of the artists basically went on to other projects, so they really couldn't get everyone back together to continue on with it. A lot of people had their contracts were up, or a lot of their since this was a global pandemic, contracts were just kind of like cut. So this was actually announced in 21. It was done, filmed, everything was done, edited. From what I'm hearing, when this movie Borderlands was like supposed to come out, a lot of rewrites, a lot of reshoots were happening, changes were happening. So that's kind of why it was held back for almost like actually 3 years till now. So let me stop talking. Let me let you guys watch this. I have watched it I don't know how many times, so I'm like debating if I even want to watch it again, but I might as well. Let me get myself situated. All right, let's see. Boom. All right, we are going to watch this again. And now. Oh, forgot to put the volume up. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, like I said, I had watched this like I don't know how many times, and I find little things here and there that I didn't see the first time, which I don't mind rewatching stuff multiple times. But yeah, this is I this I'm gonna be really blunt about this. Like I still stand by the fact that some studios just don't listen to the communities, especially the gaming community. Like I said, they haven't had a really good movie in a while. That's a video game based film. I mean, yes, we had, like I mentioned, Five Nights at Freddy's, we had Sonic the Hedgehog, we had Mario, and those were all successful because of the fact that they did listen to the fan base and they did listen to the creators and they had the creators on set. Um, but like Uncharted, like I've heard that, yeah, they had the creator there too, but it's just like I can't even finish it. Like it's one of those movies where was like super optimistic about it, watched it, and I was just kind of like, what the hell am I watching? And then you have the Mortal Kombat one that's more the newer one. Everyone loves it. There's some people that don't like it at all. Personally, me, it's like I tried watching it. I don't even remember if I finished watching it. I know that I watched it last year in March when I was on vacation for a wedding, and I fell asleep. Like right when it started, I fell asleep. When I got back and, towards the end of 23, kind of bleeded into now, they have it on Hulu. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me watch it. Let me see what's the big hype and all that. I watched it and I don't remember if I finished it. That much I can tell you. I do not remember if I finished it. But from what I remember, I just did not like it. And like I sit there and I'm like, the source is there. It's right there at your disposal. Like when they did Resident Evil Welcome Home, it's just like I have yet watched it. I need to watch it because I want to see how much of a dumpster fire that is. It's like you have the source right there. the first Resident Evil with Mila, that was yeah, Mila. That one was really good, but then it progressively just started becoming more and more of a cash grab. I'm just hoping that this Borderlands does not turn into one of those. And already some people, I have people already telling me that it's kind of one of those, like, I'm really confused with the story. Like, what is it? Is it supposed to be like the first one? But then I'm seeing characters from other from the other games, like Tiny Tina. Tiny Tina is not introduced in the first game. She is mentioned in the second and introduced in the second. And with Krieg, I believe he's also in the he's not in the first game. I know that much because the first main four that you play as, or you get to play as, is Roland, Lilith, Mordecai, and Brick. Those are the only four that you get to play. And I think Krieg comes in either in the prequel or in the second one. Maya was in that one. So I don't think he. Oh, I think he's in the second. I don't remember. See, that's how long I have not played. But it's just like when you see just two out of four, it's just like, wait a minute, where's the other two? Like, where is Brick? Where is Mordecai? Like, where are those two? Now, I can argue that maybe this is just an in betweener between the prequel, because there is a prequel game where it does have Jack, but is like at that moment like not known as Handsome Jack at the moment, and is also a doppelganger, and they're trying to go up into the space station to shut down his whole program or the whole system. But here's where I'm kind of like having that, like, are you guys doing it in between the two? Because if I remember correctly, I think Lilith was in the prequel as well. So it's just kind of like one of those, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So I thought maybe if I try to figure this out, maybe if I theorize what's going to happen, the story itself, it still to me does not make any sense. I had tried so many times to try to come up with something. The only thing I said is like an in betweener where Roland had met Tiny Tina, and that's why they know each other. Then kind of goes into this first game where it's like the original four, but it's just like, no, that wouldn't make any sense because I'm just still confused. And it's just like, I don't even know where they're going with this. The casting itself was a bit surprising, and I don't mean like a good surprise. It's kind of like, yes, some of the characters that were casted, such as Jack Black, great as Claptrap. Same thing with Florin, who plays Krieg. Um, Great casting. Doesn't really talk that much, but still, in the whole trailer, the guy who plays Marcus, awesome. I love that. Um, Tiny Tina, another one, good casting. I'm kind of hoping she's a little bit more crazier because Tiny Tina is a little crazy, and she's a kid. She's 12 years old, and she comes up with the best catchphrases that I can't wait to say them again when I start playing it because she is just adorable. And I'm like, she's like the little sister that you wish you don't have, but you really do want her because she's just that adorable. But then my issue is with Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Kate Blanchard. All three of them, great actors, really good actors, amazing actors. I can't get over the fact that, I mean, yeah, she can do, but it's like I feel like she can do maybe an older Lilith, but Lilith in the games is like not a kid, but she's like almost like a late teens, early 20s, maybe mid 20s. And then Roland is a little bit older than her. There's a height difference and everything, which I don't really care about the height. I'm not like judging the height, but it's just like I can't see Kevin as Roland. I go, here's the thing is that most people are kind of maybe overlooking. It could be a possibility that Kevin is a big fan of Borderlands and he probably really loves the character, Roland a lot and just wanted to play him. Awesome. Cool beans, cool beans. Like I love it. Kevin is just kind of just putting his hands in everything, kind of like trying to branch out, which is understandable. A lot of actors do that. And this kind of goes back to what I was thinking that a lot of times when people get a taste or they find their niche, they feel like they can go do other stuff but at the same time it feels weird to your audience that all of a sudden you're doing something completely different. So like Kevin, he's known for comedy. He's known for basically all his stand-ups. And yes, he's done a lot of predominantly comedy-based films and he's done some action comedy films as well. And he's been dabbling a little bit into, like the drama and kind of like thriller aspect and all that, and he's done really well in it. Now, this being a video game action based game is like, I don't know, dude. Like you guys, like Lion Gate, you could have. I hate doing fan casting sometimes, but you could have got like Terry Crew. You could got Isaac Ilborn, who I can't pronounce his name. I said his name wrong completely. I'm so sorry, but he's the voice of Knuckles. You could have got him, but he's a lot older. So if you wanted someone younger, you could have got like Michael B. Jordan and or something. But I don't know. I go maybe, like I said, he could have Kevin Hart just could be a really big fan of this character. He just really wanted to portray him. Kate Blanchett, I mean, she is, like I said, a beautiful actress, but it's like you could have got somebody around her age, like Lilith. And the costume change itself is kind of like I didn't even notice the costume change until I went to go like set everything up for today and saw it. I'm like, there is a big costume change. I just realized that right now. And then going to Jamie Lee Curtis, playing Dr. Tannis. And that's another character that's supposed to be a very young character. And that's one of the first characters that you meet in the game. So I'm just kind of like, I feel like they just got names to promote their film and not really, like I said, really think about their fan base. And I am gonna go watch this film. I really am. Once they announce when the tickets are gonna be start to go on sale, I'm gonna go see if I can see it early and then review it for you guys. Because, like I said, this game property is like near and dear to me. I am also gonna get the games itself, and I'm gonna start live streaming those games because I got some games that I got some new games that I want to really live stream. But yeah, I do want to say this now. I want to put it out there. I personally do believe that the way they're going to introduce Handsome Jack, because they haven't, Atlas is in it, which is Edgar, which I'll show you right now, real quick. So a lot of people were like sitting there, kind of like, oh, why aren't they showing Lilith's like ability? Like, I don't understand. Like, she's like a siren. So what she is her ability is that she has powers. And that's why a lot of people always gravitated towards her to play. I always gravitated to Mordecai. I'm going to be very blunt. I always gravitated to Mordecai because I actually like this character a lot. So I had to slow it down a little bit. So, bop, bop, bop. There's Moxie. That was what I wanted to kind of like, because I was amongst the people that were like, where is this? Where's her showcasing her abilities? No, it's there. It's there. You just gotta like really pay attention to it. Like I said, first time watching it, did not pay attention. Now, this guy, this is the baddie, Edgar. And I, the first time I saw him, like just that quick clip, I was like, where have I seen this guy from? Like I've seen him, and I've seen him in the TV series, the Versace series that they did for the American Stories, and then also he's on this other show on Peacock called Doctor Death. It's on season 2. I have to pick up and watch where I left off, but still, like to see him, which let me double check his last name. I'm like Edgar. I know his last name, Edgar Ramirez. I just have to wait and see. I really do. I'm just like I said, I'm worried a little bit, and a lot of people are. You have every right to be worried. I feel like a lot of times studios try to make it very simplistic for those who don't play the game so that they can understand. And I want to say this, take example from like Five Nights at Freddy's. If you have never played the games, which I have, if you've never played the games, the movie itself kind of just gives you the gist of it. You're a night guard, you're watching over a pizzeria, you have these animatronics that come to life, and they try to stuff you in a suit. But then they obviously change up the story, which I have a whole thing on that, which I'll talk about that next time. Um, I like when they do that, when studios kind of do that, they kind of make it easier for some, but then there's other studios that they have this, especially like the mouse Disney with Marvel, they expect you to go watch their series before you go watch their movies. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have had people sitting behind me when I went to go see No Way Home and they saw Daredevil, and they're like, "Who's that? Who's this Matt Murdock? Who's that guy?" And I'm just like, "Have you guys seen the Daredevil series on Netflix before it was taken off Netflix?" And they're like, "Well, no, I didn't think I had to go see that." I was like, "That series is him. That's his whole series. in order to understand what's going on, like no Strange, Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. People were complaining about that one, like, oh, but how do like why do we have to go watch WandaVision? Because like WandaVision wasn't one of my favorite ones, but still, I'm just kind of sitting here like, it's kind of messed up that you have to make your audience go watch it. And now with like the Marvels, in order to understand Captain Rambo, you have to understand that she was also in. It's like one of those like WandaVision. But then I liked about that was that she kind of just explains it like, yeah, I walked through a force field, witch hex, and got my powers just like that. Okay, yeah. So that is it. I am good. Like I said, I am going to be adding that to my list of video movies I'm going to go spend my money on and go watch it. And I will sit down and talk with you guys about it. And hoping by that time I'm going to be live and we will talk about it. So once they have the release date, I will let you guys know when I'm gonna like go see it. I'll let you guys know. Till then, I will catch you guys next time. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night and